Hey everybody, welcome to Mad Backyard. Today we're going to show you how to easily smoke cheese on any grill or smoker. No matter if you've got a gas grill, pellet grill, electric smoker, we'll show you the best way to easily make smoked cheese right at home. So using an electric smoker is one of the easiest ways to smoke your cheese. I'm going to show you how to do that first. Now I've got a Masterbuilt electric smoker here, and I've actually got one of my favorite accessories for the Masterbuilt. It's the cold smoker attachment, and I highly recommend getting this if you already have a Masterbuilt electric smoker. The nice thing about the cold smoker attachment is this is its own separate smoking unit. Okay, it's got its own power supply, its own heating element. We're not even going to plug in the main smoker today, so it's going to keep everything really nice and cold while we smoke our cheese. So this guy has like a little chute that you put the wood chips down into. They fall down this chute and land in this tray here, and this tray touches a heating element at the bottom, and then the smoke blows in through where the wood chip holder normally is into the electric smoker and then up out the exhaust. So there's really no heat going in here, maybe a little bit from the heating element, but we're going to show you how to even counteract that today. So we're going to go ahead and get some wood chips loaded in here. And the nice thing about this is you can load it with a ton of wood chips, and it's not just for cold smoking. If you're doing like pulled pork or some ribs or something, you can load this thing with wood chips. It'll smoke for about 3-4 hours or so. And you can kind of just set it and forget it and leave it alone. Set the temperature to whatever you want on the Masterbuilt and not have to come out every 30 minutes to reload it with wood chips. So I'm using some of these apple wood chips today, just because it's a nice mild smoke flavor on our cheese. So we're going to be doing about 2, maybe 3 hours on the cheese. So I'm going to load it up pretty high with wood chips here, and then we'll go ahead and turn it on. So it took about 10 minutes for the heating element in our cold smoker attachment to get some smoke started, and you can see it's rolling out the top vent here. We're gonna go ahead and get our cheese on. Once you've taken it out of the package, I recommend kind of writing down on a notepad here. I'm gonna write down which cheese is which, because it's gonna be harder to remember, you know, what's mild cheddar, what's sharp cheddar and everything once we get it on there. But I'm just gonna put everything on the grates here. These grates are still nice and cold. Again, the Masterbuilt's not turned on, just the smoke rolling through from the cold smoker attachment, and I'll put a link to that down in the description below if you want to check it out for yourself. But I'm going to get the cheese on here, and I'm going to show you one other thing we do to help keep it extra cold inside the Masterbuilt. Now we're in the middle of January, and today's about a high of 38 degrees, so I'm not too worried about the cheese melting inside the smoker that's not even turned on. However, if it's a little warmer out for you, or you're worried about it, you can put a tray of ice cubes in, and I'm going to put them right on the bottom rack here. And that's just going to give us a little extra protection from any heat building up inside of our smoker. So a couple things to consider when you're cold smoking cheese. It's obviously easier to do on a cold day. It's a great activity to do in the winter. If you really want to cold smoke your cheese in the summer or spring months, I would recommend doing it really early in the morning or at night after the sun's gone down, so you can help keep those temperatures nice and low. You can also pick some harder cheeses. They're going to have a higher melting point. Softer cheeses like brie or cream cheese are going to melt a lot faster, obviously, than a harder cheese like cheddar or Swiss. Another trick is to put the block of cheese in the freezer for about 30 minutes before you put it in the smoker. That'll help get the temperature down and take it longer to reach that melting point. Another option for cold smoking cheese, if you've got a gas grill or a pellet grill or even a charcoal grill, is to use a pellet tube smoker. Now we've showed you in other videos how to fill this up and light it. I'm not going to go through every step of that. I'll put a link to that video down below if you want to check it out. But basically we're going to fill this up with pellets, light it, and we're not going to turn our pellet grill on at all. Same as with the electric smoker. So whether you're using gas, charcoal, pellet grill, it doesn't matter. All you really need is a vessel to put the cheese in and have your pellet tube lit to create smoke, and you can cold smoke your cheese that way too. These almond Cabernet pellets from Knotty Wood are some of my favorite for cold smoking cheese. They put off a really nice aroma, especially when used in a pellet tube smoker. I'll put a link to the video we made down below where we show you how to identify good quality pellets and also how to use them correctly in a pellet tube. Once your pellet tube's been lit for about 5 minutes or so and the flame's been going for a little while, you can go ahead and blow it out. And then we're going to lay it gently on its side. And then those pellets are going to burn down to the end, so we'll get a nice long smoke on here, while never having to turn our pellet grill on. So I'm gonna take some of our cheese now, and you can see this is how I set it up if I'm doing it on a gas grill or pellet grill. You can put it right over your ice bath like this, you know, get a little tray to put on top. That way the cheese stays nice and cold. The other trick I found with using a pellet tube smoker is open up your exhaust chimney cap as far as it'll go. You really want a lot of airflow going through there, otherwise that pellet tube can go out on you. So you wanna make sure you got this open quite a bit anytime you're using a pellet tube smoker. And then we're gonna let that continue to smoke and get our cheese smoking on the pellet grill too. Our cheese has been in the smoker for about 3 hours now. Generally speaking, 2 to 4 hours is gonna be plenty of time to get enough smoke flavor on your cheese. So we're gonna go ahead and take ours out. You can see our ice barely melted at all over the last 3 hours, so we definitely were able to keep a nice cold temperature inside. Our lighter cheeses, this is the Swiss and this is the Gouda, definitely got a little darker color on them. I flipped them over a few times just to make sure they were getting some even smoke accumulation on the outside. And we're gonna go ahead and get these off and put them on the cutting board. Now you can try a little bit of your smoked cheese right away when you take it out of the smoker. However, it's gonna have its best flavor if you let it rest in the fridge for a little while before you slice into it. There's a lot of kind of oils accumulate on the outside of the cheese after you smoke them. That's where a lot of that smoke flavor is. It's really concentrated right on the outside now. What we wanna do is let that smoke flavor kind of work its way into the cheese and spread out and mellow out over the next few days. So I'm gonna try a little bit of the sharp cheddar here just because this is my favorite. It's good, but it's a lot of concentrated smoke flavor right there on the edge. So what we're gonna do is actually wrap these in parchment paper. It's gonna let the cheese breathe here for a couple days. We'll put them back in the refrigerator, let them rest there for a couple days in the parchment paper, and then we're gonna vacuum seal them, and then we can just hold them in the fridge or freeze them as long as we want to, and then we'll have some nice mellowed out smoked cheese to enjoy later on. We've found that wrapping smoked cheese in parchment paper for about 24 to 48 hours is enough time to let it breathe without drying out before we vacuum seal it. You can also use a zippered plastic bag, but vacuum sealing is a great way to really preserve your smoked cheese while it rests. You can also use it for freezing individual portions of fish, brisket, or pulled pork when you have leftovers. Let the cheese rest and mellow out in the vacuum sealed bags for about another week for the best possible flavor before serving. We hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure to hit the like and subscribe buttons to get more content like this from our channel. I'll put a link to the full step-by-step instructions that accompany this video at madbackyard.com, as well as links to all the products we used today down in the description below. Thanks for watching.